Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Tonight we are back with the Winter Challenge Series for race number 4 of their season, the Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150 here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Qualifying taking place right now. Currently Derek Kraus sitting top of the board with an 18.921. Carter Hollingsworth 5/1000 slower. Look at the times up on the left side of your screen. A very close field. 18.9s all the way back to the 13th spot right now. And still a couple more cars left to go. Your top 20 are going to make it from qualifying. So the drivers on the left side of your screen are the drivers that are safe here. Couple of drivers still taking lap times. Trent Smith down into turns 1 and 2 for his second lap. Did not get a lap on the first time around. We'll see what he can do on his money lap. Little bobble off of 4 right there. He's able to keep his foot in it. Is it going to be enough to make it in the show? It's going to be enough for the fastest time of the day. An 18.897. Trent Smith jumps up to the top of the board late in qualifying there. The only driver in the 8s, and that's going to wrap up qualifying. I do believe all of our drivers are in one last chance qualifier here. Let's look at our results from qualifying and make the assessment from there. These are your top 20 transfers. You can see just how close the field is. 0.2 of a second all the way back to the 20th spot. And back behind them, you can see the field. Brett McCoy going to be starting on the pole of the last chance qualifier. 33 drivers took time, and we've got 13 drivers here in the last chance race, where we will take the top 4 into tonight's Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150. Green flag just about ready to come out. They're going to get a warm-up lap in, give these drivers some time to get some heat in the tires, get everything set before we send them green flag racing. It'll be a 15-lap last chance qualifier where the top 4 are going to advance into tonight's A feature. Pace car drops down into pit road in turns 3 and 4. Is in the hands of Brett McCoy and Rob Nelson. We'll get the green flag. And we are underway here in the last chance qualifier. Your top 4 going to make it in on positioning for tonight's Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150. Down the back straightaway they go. Brett McCoy takes the early lead from Rob Nelson. Daniel Calhoun in the second spot, trying to hold off Danny Mann now, who charges to the 3rd spot. Couple cars up into the wall. That's the 199 of Rob Nelson. Started this race in the 2nd spot, already back to P6. I know we've got contact for the 2nd position. Danny Mann may have put in a little bit of a bumper to the back bumper of Daniel Calhoun, and that opened up the door for Tristan Swanson. Swanson is your current points leader. Did not make the race on time here tonight. He's trying to punch his ticket into the feature race here in just a little bit. We've got 12 laps to go. Danny Mann up on the outside lane, making the long way around work. Very easy to do here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Very multi-groove track. You can see drivers moving up all over the racetrack as Tristan Swanson takes over that second spot. Now Danny Mann and Preston Boers battle for third. Ooh, there's contact there. And the last thing these two want to do is wreck each other out of the transfer spot. Eric White is right there to capitalize if they lose enough ground. Boers up the racetrack a little bit in the 001 machine. Danny Mann on that outside lane doing a wonderful job keeping the momentum up on the top side. You can see him drive it up off the top. Even your race leader, Brett McCoy, down the backstretch using up the top lane with 9 laps to go. Battle for the race lead now. Up in front of the battle for the transfer spot, Tristan Swanson takes the top spot away with 8 laps to go. Brett McCoy did not put up much of a fight there, knows that he still will transfer if he stays in this second spot. Just past halfway. We've got a 5-car breakaway at the front. Preston Boers and Danny Mann hold the final 2 transfer spots. They're side by side. No, there's contact. We've got a car around out back. That's, I believe, Todd Holloway in the 02 machine. We'll look at what happened. He spun off of 4. Don't know if he was with anybody there. Like he may have just gotten in a little bit too low, and that kind of messed up his line on the exit of the corner, and around went 02. Single car spin puts us under yellow for the first time here tonight. We have 10 laps into the last chance qualifier. Your top 4 are gonna make it into tonight's Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150. This will allow some of those drivers that had lost some ground further back in the field to get a reset. They'll be able to get back up to your top 4 and be able to battle for the transfer spot. So pace car drops to the bottom. Back down pit road. We're going to send them green here with 3 laps to go. Three laps to go. Green flag is back out, and we're back underway. Swanson takes the early lead. Oh, Brett McCoy gets tagged. And I think that's going to bring out the caution. Brett McCoy in the 1 machine and was in the second spot. Got tagged going down into 1 and 2. Take a look at what happened here. I think he got tagged by Eric White there in the 6 machine. And like, got it. Looked like he got it turned back around quickly. I don't know if he ever went fully around. But that was enough for iRacing to end up throwing the caution flag. So under caution, once again, 2 quick yellows back to back. Cautions do breed cautions here, especially on the short tracks. Will be set up for a green-white checkered attempt in the last chance race. Field doubles up. Out of turn number 4, They'll get the 1 to go signal this time. Tristan Swanson, your race leader, going to launch from the bottom lane. He'll have Danny Mann to his outside. Eric White going to start third on the bottom. Race control not quite ready to send them back racing this time. Lights back on the iRacing.com pace car. We are ready to go this time. It'll be a green-white checker, just 2 laps for some of these drivers outside of the top 4 to try to punch their ticket into tonight's A feature. Preston Boers was up in the transfer spot, lost that position on the last couple restarts. We'll see if he's got anything left with 2 laps to go. Pace car drops. We are out of 4. Green flag is out. 2 laps to go here in the last chance qualifier at North Wilkesboro. Tristan Swanson gets the early advantage down into turns 1 and 2. Your front 4 going to be single file as Daniel Calhoun holds that final transfer spot. And he hang on. White flag is out. Final time around for Tristan Swanson. Swanson down the back straightaway. We've got a car around out behind. That's Will Vess. And look at that, into turns 3 and 4. Preston Boers with a big send to the bottom. And he will take that final transfer spot. How about that? In the final corner, Preston Boers gets that final transfer spot back from Daniel Calhoun. So an exciting finish to the last chance qualifier. We'll look at the results from our last chance qualifier here. Your winner, Tristan Swanson, Danny Mann, and Eric White. And Preston Boers, those are your top 4 transfers into tonight's Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150. Daniel Calhoun 1 spot short in the 04 machine. Easton Zent came home 6th in the 300. Rob Nelson 7th in the 199. Jesse Clossy 8th in the 60 machine. Scott Kingswan 9th in the 55. Brett McCoy, tough break for the 1 machine. He was running 2nd up until one of those final restarts. Got tagged and ends up in the 10th spot. Kenny Storkson 11th. Todd Holloway 12th. And Will Vess comes home 13th. So your top 4 out of that going to transfer into the A feature. We've got a quick warm-up session for these drivers. And then we will be ready to send them green for 150 laps. They've got 1 set of tires in the pits. So there will be some strategy calls going on throughout the race. It'll be interesting to see if drivers want to go early or late on the tires. I think track position is going to be important, but if you burn off that right rear tire, not going to be a very friendly race car. Carter Hollingsworth qualified 2nd here tonight in the 28 machine. We'll see what he can do. We prepare for tonight's Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150. Drivers, if you're, or sorry, folks in the chat below, if you're watching a driver here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Let me know who you're cheering for. I know a lot of these guys watch back and like to see what went on. They oftentimes are able to see in chat who commented for their support. So let's see who everybody's cheering for. Derek Kraus, your fast qualifier. Or sorry, second fast qualifier. Forgot Trent Smith jumped up there at the end. We got a Trent Smith fan down in the chat below. He went quick time here tonight. Kind of shocked. I think everybody in the session with an 8. Everybody was in the 9s, and he ranked out an 89. Got the top spot in qualifying. We'll have to wait and see what the invert looks like. We're just about done here in the warm-up. And then it'll be time to go racing. Next week here in the Winter Challenge Series. Going to be a fun race there. We go to the Thompson Speedway for the Mabel's Jackpot 150. Thompson, a very different track than a lot of the races we've seen so far. Long straightaways with tight banked corners where you're using the top lane most of the time. So going to be a very different race. Definitely a very interesting one. Then after that, January 19th, we go to Slinger, which is a race I am very much looking forward to. I love the Slinger Speedway on iRacing. You guys have seen any of the videos on Facebook from the past couple weeks. You've seen some of the action we've had at Slinger. As the checkered flag flies on the warm-up session here. It is time to go racing for 150 laps in the Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150. Let's look at our starting lineup here. I believe the invert was an 8. So let's meet our starting field. Sorry, the invert was an 8. So our starting lineup looks like this. On the pole, the number 36 machine, Ty Fredrickson, going to roll off next to Riley Stenjum in the 77 machine. Back behind them in row number 2 on the bottom, it's going to be Ryan Honeycutt in the 128, next to Max Hanley in the 05. Row number 3, Brandon Wilkinson in the 56, going to roll off next to Carter Hollingsworth in the 28. We'll have Derek Kraus in the number 9 machine back behind them on the bottom of row number 4. It is outside, starting 8th, fast qualifier Trent Smith. Going to come from row 4 here tonight. We'll see what he's got. Brandon Elvis, 154 machine, going to start from the 9th spot here tonight with the 35 of Tanner Burge, rounding out your top 10 starters on the outside of row number 5. Row number 6 on the inside, it's going to be Anthony Danta in the 51 next to the 67 machine of Clayton Story. Back behind him, row number 7 on the bottom, Corey Rogers in the 17. Going to roll off next to Tyler Moeller in the 178. Joe Schaefer Jr. in the 6 machine. Going to start from the 15th spot. He had a good run last week at IRP. Just did not get the finish to show it. We'll see what he can do here at North Wilkesboro. He will start next to Brian Tedeschi in the 129 machine, starting 16th. Eddie Dabrowski in the 029, going to start from the 17th spot here tonight. He will have Caleb Adrian to his outside in the 29, the 18th spot. Scotty Gardner in the 109 machine, going to start 19th next to Nick Fredrickson. The final of your qualifying transfers in the 336. Then your 4 last chance qualifier transfers Going to be Tristan Swanson, Danny Mann, Eric White, and Preston Boers, bringing us to the green. The cold night here, or cooler night, I should say, in Wilkes County, North Carolina. 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is time to go racing here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Ty Fredrickson and Riley Stenjum bring us through the restart zone, and we are underway in the Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150 at North Wilkesboro. Down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Looks like Ty Fredrickson going to take the early advantage as they come around 4 for the first time. Give it to the 36 of Ty Fredrickson. He's got Ryan Honeycutt right back down to the bottom, fighting for the lead as they head down the back straightaway. Look at all the cars still side by side. That top lane rolling ahead a little bit early on. You can see Riley Stenjum able to get down in line. Oh, Carter Hollingsworth up into the wall a little bit there. Same with your fast qualifier, Trent Smith. Both of them checking up down into turns 1 and 2. You can see damage on the right side of the 28 machine. Carter Hollingsworth. Try to get a better look at as he comes out of 4. Yeah, definitely some damage on the right front. We'll see if he can continue on. They're just about 3 wide. Everybody's so close through the center of the corner. Kind of hard to keep up with all that's going on. There's so many cars side by side. Fast qualifier Derek Kraus moves up into the 5th spot. He watches the battle for the lead. He's got a battle back behind him. Brandon Elvis to the inside of Max Hanley. Elvis started 9th in this one. He's trying to follow your second fast qualifier, Derek Kraus, up through the field. Hanley up on the top side, Elvis down low. Your front 10 or so just about all the way single file. We've got Hanley up on the outside lane, still trying to find a gap on the low side. Almost got one there, but made a little contact with Tanner Burge. Back behind him, ooh, Anthony Danton up into the wall. Got tagged up off the corner, and they're 3 wide right there, nearly contact, and there is their door banging down the back straightaway. Corey Rogers and Joe Schaefer Jr. Carter Hollingsworth to the inside of Max Hanley. Hanley's going to fall in behind the 28 of Hollingsworth. We are 10 laps in at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. And watch your field down into turns 3 and 4 here. Already getting pretty spread out. Right there, Scotty Gardner is 17th. And all the way back there is Nick Fredrickson. Ty Fredrickson, your race leader in the 36 machine. He leads by about 2 car lengths over Ryan Honeycutt. Both of those 2 drivers running a little bit different lines, and you can really see that throughout the field. A lot of different lines from these drivers down into turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is a little bit more textbook. You really have to roll the bottom of the racetrack. But 1 and 2, there's a lot more room to move around. You can see a lot of guys already all the way up on the wall. Riley Stenjum, a good example in that 77 machine. Brandon Elvis, Brandon Wilkinson side by side for the 5th spot. Wilkinson down low. They've got Tanner Burge right behind him, who's got a good view of this one. The Looks like Elvis going to keep that spot on the top side. Burge going to try to jump outside, but not going to be able to keep that run. Now he'll look low in turns 1 and 2. The never-changing line, and there's a little bit of contact there. Burge up the racetrack. Wilkinson backs off, does not want to push too hard at this moment in the race, knows that there's still a lot of time left to go. You don't want to burn your stuff up early on, especially not at North Wilkesboro, the track that requires a lot of turn in the center, but also a tremendous amount of drive up off. If you lose the drive up off the corner, you're going to be hurting later in the race. There's contact right there. Danta up into the inside of Clayton Story, kind of moves Story up the racetrack. That'll put Story back to the 17th spot. It's Scotty Gardner on the outside of Corey Rogers in the 17. Gardner trying to take the 14th spot away. And you can definitely tell the outside lane, these guys are able to keep their momentum a little bit better. I wonder how many cars we'll see move up there in turns 3 and 4 throughout the race. That's going to be the big kicker. I kind of expected the line to go up a little bit in 1 and 2, but I don't know about 3 and 4. Fredrickson holds the race lead, 20 laps in, 130 to go. He's had Ryan Honeycutt on his back bumper for most of the race. And this one is no different. You see the 28 car right there, all over the back bumper. Side by side for the race lead, just about. Ryan Honeycutt going to take a peek to the inside. Fredrickson going to be able to hold off the 28, but for how much longer? Honeycutt definitely seems to have a little bit faster race car at this moment. Maybe Fredrickson not quite able. Oh, contact there down into turns 3 and 4, and around goes Ty Fredrickson. They get it straightened back out, but there was contact there for the top spot. And that is going to put us under caution flag for the first time here tonight. Your leaders tangle down into turns 1 and 2. Ty Fredrickson was the race leader. He got tapped going into 3. Got a lot of cars coming to pit road here. Let's see what happened. Back 1 lap. This is down the back straightaway. You can see the 28 try to pull alongside. We'll just watch from the tower up above. Honeycutt into the inside, and just a little bit of contact there. You can see him instantly back out and try to get out of it, but nothing he could have done. There's big time damage on the front end of that race car. Watch it one more time. Try to go on board with Ryan Honeycutt. Yeah, it's kind of a tough deal there, because I know Ty wanted to shut the bottom off, but Ryan also may have felt like he had position there, so there's 2 drivers going for the same piece of real estate. And that is going to put us under yellow for the first time in the Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150. Folks, if you're not already, hit that red subscribe button on the WD Broadcasting Network YouTube channel for all iRacing content right here, live 4 nights of the week this January and through February. We've got 4 different leagues. Only Short Tracks was last night. Winter Challenge Series here tonight. Leave the Pack Super Series makes their return tomorrow night at the Kern County Raceway Park. And then it will be the Trackmaster Sim Series also making their return in the season opener at Southern National. So it'll be a fun week here. Hit that red subscribe button so you guys never miss next time we go live. We're about to go back green flag racing. It'll be Carter Hollingsworth, Tanner Burge, sending us back to the green, and we're back underway. Good launch from the 28. He will take over the top spot. Down the back straightaway they go. Side by side for a second. That's Tyler Muller up top, Scotty Gardner on the bottom. We had several cars come down pit road and get tires early on in this one. But Carter Hollingsworth leads down the back straightaway. Brandon Elvis on the inside of Eddie Dabrowski in the 29 machine. Riley Stengham looking 3 wide down into turns 1 and 2. Elvis able to hold off in the middle lane. It is a hornet's nest from the 5th spot on back. Elvis to the inside of Clayton Story. Able to take that spot from Eddie Dabrowski. And that's what the difference is from old to new tires. Dory and Dabrowski on the outside lane on the older tires. Elvis and Stengham down low with fresher right sides. At least I would assume fresher right sides. Oh, and there's a spin out of 4. Nick Fredrickson in the 336 goes around. Preston Bohr is going to go up and over on the front stretch. And a big mess out of turn number 4. Second caution flag of the evening. And that is going to be a much bigger one than the first one. Let's try and look at it one more time. I think Nick Fredrickson was the driver that initially went around. Let's see how it happened. I think he was trying to get back down behind Derek Krause and got tagged by Tedeschi. You can see Swanson involved. There's Danta. Preston Boers goes up and over right here. Eric White's got damage on the front bumper of that race car as well. So a big one on the exit of turn number 4. Puts us under caution for the second time. A couple more drivers coming down pit road. Several likely just to get some damage repaired. We do have your top 4 still not coming to pit road. Hollingsworth, your leader, trying to have a little bit more tire later in the race. And this is what I was mentioning before we started here this evening. We're going to see a lot of different tire strategies be played. And it's going to be a matter of who can do the best strategy on tires and have the most track position when it matters the most. The drivers will choose at the line. The outside lane definitely seems to be popular. This pace car drops back to pit road. We're going to send him back green. Once again, 35 laps in. Green flag flies. We're back underway. Hollingsworth leads us back down into turns 1 and 2. Tyler Muller up top, Scotty Gardner in third. They try to get grouped together out of turns 3 and 4. Hollingsworth going to take the top spot away. Muller nearly contacted into the back bumper and a couple cars up into the wall. Caleb Adrian and Eddie Dabrowski, the 229s, both got up into the outside wall a little bit there, down into 1. They're able to keep going. The top 3 have all found a way to get single filed out. Brandon Elvis, the first car on tires, and we got a big wreck out behind. Max Hanley spun to the inside of the racetrack. I think the caution flag is going to stay. We're going to keep it held for now. No caution flag. Hanley is able to get it back going. He's going to lose a lot of time, but he does not lose a lap. So 40 laps in, 110 laps to go. Carter Hollingsworth, your race leader. He's got Tyler Muller to his back bumper. You can see the 78 machine running a little bit higher line, trying to cut that car down and get the run down the straightaway. Very different line from both of these drivers. Brandon Wilkinson with a big dive underneath Scotty Gardner in the 109. He and Derek Kraus both right there. Now Riley Stenjum all in a line. They've got to find a way around Scotty Gardner here, and you don't want to really fight to get around Gardner. You just want to try and find a place to pass him at a convenient time. Otherwise, you're just going to want to wait until he comes to pit road. Gardner to the inside of Caleb Adrian. Adrian holds the top lane, is able to keep that momentum up. You can definitely tell the outside is the preferred groove, I think, when you're side by side, but that just makes it so difficult to pass. But you definitely have to keep your momentum up. You make a big lunge to the inside, somebody else can very easily get a run up off the corner and pass you. That's what we're seeing right here. Scotty Gardner trying to get around. Caleb Adrian now has Brandon Wilkinson to his back bumper. Here comes Derek Kraus to the inside of Brandon Wilkinson. Wilkinson does a crossover move. Shoots back down into turns 1 and 2, but I think Kraus is going to be able to hold on the top side. Meanwhile, up front, Tyler Muller all over the back bumper of Carter Hollingsworth for the race lead. 78 trying to put as much pressure on as he can. Is back behind him. Scotty Gardner gets around Caleb Adrian as we have a caution on the racetrack. Clayton Story in the number 67 machine around on the backstretch, and we'll see what happened here. Put us under caution for the first time, or for the third time. Watch what happened. Was battling with Tristan Swanson. It looks like, I think, maybe just lost a little bit of speed on the exit of the corner, and Swanson got him in the rear bumper. And that sends Clayton Story around. Brings out the third caution of the night. Tyler Muller, Carter Hollingsworth not bringing them to pit road just yet. Wanting to hold out a little bit longer on the pit strategy. Drivers will choose next time by. Under caution for the third time, we are 52 laps in. Working lap 53. Just past a third of the way into this one. Carter Hollingsworth, your race leader. So far, we've had 3 caution flags for 10 laps under yellow. We'll keep an eye on that as we get later into the race. This is a 150 lap race here tonight, so just shy of halfway. Your race leader, Carter Hollingsworth, going to take the outside lane on the choose that time. We'll see how this plays out, as he'll now have Tyler Muller to the inside. It'll be Hollingsworth, Muller, Elvis, and Gardner, your top 4, bringing us through the restart zone, and they're back underway. Down into 1 and 2, the 28 machine uses that outside lane. He's going to have a big run down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, we're 3 wide for a second. We've got cars spinning out behind. Corey Rogers around in the 17. I think that was the first car to spin down the back. Watch it one more time. This is the 17 of Rogers, and I think there was contact in front of him. And then Burge got hit by Honeycutt into the 17, and then Danny Mann also spun as well. I think that was just everybody reacting to the initial spin. But under caution for a 4th time here tonight. Get one more look at it. I think it happened in front of Corey Rogers. You can see the 6 machine get tagged. And then right there, around he goes. And then Danny Mann also got spun right there. See him going around as well. Still no pit stop from Carter Hollingsworth or Tyler Muller. Trying to hold out as long as they can. Fourth caution flag of the evening. Hollingsworth, your race leader, going to take the outside lane once again on the choose. And I think that's going to be a more common thing, especially as we get later into this race. Putting yourself on the outside lane, just if you're giving yourself a better run off of turn number 2, and I think that's really the spot that you want to be the best here on these restarts. We'll see what Hollingsworth and Muller have. Going to bring them back one more time. About 15 laps shy of the halfway point. It's in the hands of the 28 of Carter Hollingsworth. Green flag is back out. We're back underway down into turns 1 and 2. Good launch from the 28 machine. Scotty Gardner in the 109 up on the outside lane, trying to take over the second spot, but there's contact. Muller in the 78 trying to hang on to that spot. We got Brandon Elvis right back behind him. Looks like Muller going to keep that spot. Meanwhile, behind, they still battle for position. Here comes Brandon Wilkinson and Caleb Adrian making contact down into turns 3 and 4. Wilkinson going to take the spot. Adrian makes a good save. Back to the 7th spot with Riley Stenham now to his inside. Up front, Hollingsworth, your race leader, just set the fastest lap of the race. So there's still speed in that 28 machine. He's got a lot of cars right on his back bumper, ready to get around him if he does make a mistake. Derek Kraus and Brandon Elvis side by side for the 4th spot. Brandon Wilkinson's right there as well. Looks like Elvis is going to take that spot. Hold on to that spot, I should say. Up front, though, Tyler Muller trying that outside lane out, trying to find something to pass the 28 of Carter Hollingsworth. He's getting these big runs up off the corner, but just has not been able to peek through the inside on corner exit. Kraus once again to the inside of Elvis. Meanwhile, contact for the lead. Muller looked to the inside of Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth tried to shut the door. There was a little bit of contact. Both of them are going to hang on to it, but they'll lose just a little bit of ground as Elvis and Kraus continue to battle for that 4th spot. Elvis on the top. Patiently, I think, backed out of that one. Got up into the wall, but did not want to fight Derek Kraus too hard. Putting the extra wear in those tires. Meanwhile, out front, though, Carter Hollingsworth continues to hold the race lead. About 5 laps shy of halfway. Derek Kraus trying to take the final spot on the podium. He'll make a big lunge to the inside of Scotty Gardner. We'll contact off of 4, and Gardner going to hold on to that spot. Once again, the Brandon and Brandon show for the 5th spot. Wilkinson in the 56, Elvis in the 54. And Elvis has really found a rhythm on that outside lane. Able to get big runs up off the top, and you can see the run that he got right there. The back bumper of Derek Kraus. Kraus and Gardner still side by side. Kraus goes up the racetrack a little bit right there. And Scotty Gardner able to hang on. Here comes Brandon Elvis now to the top side. Going to try to take that spot back from Derek Kraus. Here comes Brandon Wilkinson trying to make it a 3-car battle. What a race we are seeing here. Brandon Elvis up top trying to make the outside work. Derek Kraus down low. There's a little contact there. Kraus went up the racetrack, and Kraus is still going up the racetrack a little bit there. Elvis trying to make the outside work, but Kraus just wants to get back into his rhythm and try to get around Scotty Gardner. And Derek Kraus is able to clear that time. He will take 4th spot back, as now Brandon Elvis gets back to the inside. He'll shoot down to the bottom and try to take the 4th spot away on the inside. And he's a little sideways out of 4. Battle is on for the 4th spot right here. Scotty Gardner has got the best view of it from his back bumper. You can see Derek Kraus trying to make a run to the bottom, but look at the run Scotty Gardner gets on the front straightaway. Top is definitely coming in. We are past the halfway point. Carter Hollingsworth, your current race leader. Gardner up the racetrack on the exit of turn 2. That's going to allow Derek Kraus a big run to the bottom. What can Kraus do? He'll try to clear up off of 4, and I think he does that time. Move Derek Kraus to 3rd. Kraus up to the 3rd spot. Remember, your front 2 have not came to pit road just yet. Well, if we get a caution here, this could be an interesting second half of the race. Brandon Elvis to the bottom. Underneath Scotty Gardner trying to take over 4. Threw a little contact up off of 4. Laps in. Elvis and Gardner still side by side for the 4th spot. Meanwhile, your race leader, Carter Hollingsworth, has about a 4-car length advantage over Tyler Muller. Leads by about a second over Derek Kraus. Field starting to get a little bit more spread out. Still 14 cars left on the lead lap here. You can see your race leader right there, Carter Hollingsworth, qualified 3rd, so we knew he would have some speed, but starting to step away from some of these drivers just past halfway. Muller on that outside lane, trying to build up a run, but I think he might be losing a little bit of ground. Carter Hollingsworth, we'll look at the lap times that last time around. Hollingsworth, one of the faster cars on the racetrack. No, there's contact out of 4. Scotty Gardner and Brandon Elvis make a little bit of contact. And oh, Gardner repaid the favor in 1 and 2, and they're still making contact down the back straightaway. And Brian Tedeschi goes around out back. I don't know if we're going to get a caution for that either, and it does fly after that. But wow, chaos down in turns 1 and 2. Brandon Elvis and Scotty Gardner not happy with one another. Watch that whole sequence back one more time. Go back maybe a lap or 2. This is Elvis passing Gardner the first time. Try and get the whole story here. There was contact initially coming out of 4, and I think that's this right here. It's the slightest little bit. Ooh, maybe not slightest little bit. Good save from the 109 of Gardner. You can see drives back down, repays the favor a little bit. They both kind of half spin, and then they knock doors. I think everybody behind checking up. You can see Tedeschi spin back behind. And then that is when the caution flag flew. So Carter Hollingsworth does bring that machine to pit road. A couple other drivers coming down pit road as well to get some damage repaired. 2 drivers did not come to pit road this time. That was Tanner Burge and Max Hanley. So we will have a new race leader bringing us to the green. And we will see how the adjustments treat all of these drivers with about 60 laps to go. Field gets ready to go back green here. Pace car drops to the bottom side. We are back racing. Tanner Burge leads us to the green on the top side. He jumps right back down to the bottom and takes the early advantage through turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, for second, here comes Carter Hollingsworth. He gets a big run off the top. They're 3 wide for third. Tyler Muller on the top side. Derek Kraus going to go through on the bottom. Man, Max Hanley on those older tires just getting swallowed up by the field. They're going around him 2 at a time. Is now battle for the lead. Carter Hollingsworth trying to take that top spot back. Kraus now to the inside of Carter Hollingsworth, trying to take the top spot. What can Hollingsworth do? Can he fight back on the top? Or will Derek Kraus be able to get that top spot on the inside lane? 28 with a big run down the back straightaway. And the caution flag flies. I think that's going to give the race lead to Derek Kraus. Caution flag on the speedway. Didn't quite catch what happened there. We'll try and look at it one more time. Oh, and right there on the back straightaway, Caleb Adrian and Tristan Swanson went around. After contact down the back straightaway, let's try and look one more time to see what happened. Looks like the 29 was up on the outside, and I think there was just a little bit of a pinch right there. Schaefer was in the middle, couldn't really do anything. Under yellow once again, Derek Kraus, your race leader, was able to get the top spot away. Tanner Burge able to hang on to third. Tyler Muller fourth. Max Hanley started second on that one all the way back to the 7th spot. Was not able to hang on right there. As they do Their choose cone. On the front straightaway, Kraus takes the top. Hollingsworth takes the bottom. We're going to send them back green with 51 laps to go. Laps winding down here at North Wilkesboro. What can Derek Kraus do here on the restart? The 9 machine drops back to, drops into the restart zone, goes green and turns 1 and 2. And we're back underway. They're 3 wide for 4th back behind them. Meanwhile, Tyler Muller with a big run, trying to take 2nd away from Carter Hollingsworth. Nearly contact for the 2nd spot, and they are wrecking big time back behind him. Tanner Burge involved, and we've got a parking lot on the front straightaway. Danny Mann involved, Nick Fredrickson, Corey Rogers, Max Hanley. I think the first car that went around right there was Tanner Burge. I caught it out of the corner of my eye. And a big one on the front straightaway. Watch how it happened one more time. I think the 35 just tried to come up and was not quite clear on the 56 of Brandon Wilkinson. And then in there late was Nick Fredrickson. And a big mess on the front stretch. Let's try and get one more view at that. This is into 3 and 4. You can see the 35 up the racetrack just a little bit and tried to be clear and was not all the way. And look at the calamity down the front straightaway that followed. A big old mess. And it turns 1 and 2. But back under caution for the 7th time here tonight. 102 laps in. 48 to go. Derek Kraus, Carter Hollingsworth, your top 2. Tyler Muller got a great restart that last time. Kind of shot out of a cannon. Up into that 3rd spot. Was fighting for 2nd with Carter Hollingsworth before the caution flag blew. They come back this time. They will do the choose, and we will see where they line up on the restart. Kraus going to take the top spot. Hollingsworth going to go low. Muller going to follow Kraus up to the top lane. We'll see what happens here on the restart. Pace car is back off, and we are about to go back racing with 45 laps to go. Green flag's back out, and we're back underway. Good start for Kraus. Hollingsworth did not get going very well in the 28 machine. He's going to have Riley Stenjum to his inside. There's nearly contact through turns 1 and 2. And down the back straightaway they go. Hollingsworth had to make a big block to the outside. He saw Tyler Muller coming up in his rear view mirror. Meanwhile, battle for the 3rd spot. Stenjum going to try to force Muller out a little bit wider than he wants to here, and he will take over that 3rd spot. To move Riley Stenjum up to 3rd. Ryan Honeycutt and Tyler Muller now fight for 4th. And how about Tristan Swanson, a driver we have not talked about much here in tonight's A feature. Won the last chance qualifier up into the 6th spot. Ty Fredrickson underneath Eric White. That's for the 8th spot on the racetrack. Fredrickson on the bottom. Been very tough to pass on the bottom, especially as we get later into the race. But I think the 36 is going to be able to complete the pass. And he will indeed move Ty Fredrickson up to the 8th spot. As now Brandon Elvis tries to move up into P9, and he will follow suit on the bottom. Back up front, Derek Kraus leads by 0.4 of a second over Carter Hollingsworth. "37 laps remain here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway." You see the 28 machine really up on the top side of the racetrack, trying to get the runs built up on the top, but time may be running out. Field getting rather spread out now compared to what we have seen them look like as we watch them down into turns 1 and 2. Everybody definitely using the top 2 lanes in 1 and 2 with the exception of a few. Derek Kraus continuing to hold the race lead. He's running faster lap times than everybody back behind him. The only driver close is Ryan Honeycutt. Actually went a little bit faster that last time by, so something to keep an eye on here. But we are under 35 laps to go. Time is beginning to run out here. Gap for Carter Hollingsworth is 0.7 of a second. He's trying to take some out of that gap, but every lap it just seems Kraus has a little bit more speed. Riley Stenjum in the 3rd spot, trying to hold off Tyler Muller. Muller's right there in the 78 machine, just doesn't look like he has enough drive on the bottom to make the passes at this moment. Brandon Elvis in the back bumper of Anthony Danta. That is for the 7th spot. Here comes a 54 to the inside. Trying to take that spot away, almost contact off of 4. You really got to use up every inch of room that the car on your outside is willing to give you. Very tough to pass late in the runs in these late model stocks at North Wilkesboro. But I think Brandon Elvis is going to be able to make that pass with 29 laps to go, move Elvis up to 7th. Derek Kraus's lead is 8.5 of a second. Still running faster lap times than 2nd place Carter Hollingsworth. "27 laps to go here for Derek Kraus. Still 15 cars on the lead lap. As Brandon Elvis tries to charge forward in the 54 machine. He's still got some speed left. He's running a little bit quicker lap times than your race leader, Derek Kraus. Just does not quite have the track position at this moment. But if we see a caution flag, we might have to keep an eye on that 54 machine. As we have 25 laps to go. Derek Kraus leads by about a second over Carter Hollingsworth. Brandon Elvis trying to go to the inside of Tristan Swanson there, but could not make the move. Here comes Ty Fredericks into his inside. Elvis takes the run on the top. Now he's got to try to make quick work of the 91 of Swanson. Big run from the 54 of Elvis there down the back straightaway. This is his opportunity out of Ford. Can't keep the throttle down, though. So tough to get the pedal down out of 4, especially later in the run on the bottom. This time by for Derek Kraus. It is 20 laps to go. 20 laps remain here at North Wilkesboro in the Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150, and we've got a caution flag. Caution is out on the racetrack. Not sure what happened there. I think Tanner Burge may have had trouble. Let's see what happened here. I think out of... but maybe not there. Not sure what it was on the speedway that exactly had happened. Aha, it was Max Hanley in the 05 machine. Actually made contact with Carter Hollingsworth in the 28. Let's watch how it happened here. See the 05 definitely much slower than Kraus and Hollingsworth. I think Hollingsworth just did not expect to catch him at the rate of speed, and Hanley also got up into the wall. So Tyler Muller was involved in that one as well. In the 178. He's got some damage on the left front of that race car, it seems. So tough break for Tyler Muller. Was running third, drops back to, sorry, was running fourth, drops back to the 6th spot. So we're going to have a restart here with under 20 laps to go. Things are going to be pretty intense here on these restarts. All these guys are going to try to get every spot they can. So I wouldn't be entirely shocked if we see another caution flag, but we'll see how it unfolds. There are 16 cars on the lead lap. And we get the 1 to go signal. Drivers choose at the start-finish line. Derek Kraus going to choose the outside lane. He'll have Riley Stenjum behind him in second. Or, sorry, in the 3rd spot. Carter Hollingsworth second on the bottom. But we'll see what happens here as pace car makes his way to pit road. We'll send them back green here with 15 laps to go. Through turns 3 and 4 into the restart zone. And we're back underway with 15 to go, and that did not last very long, and the caution flag comes right back out. Tyler Muller went for a spin on the front straightaway right as they were getting up to speed. See if we can get another look at that one. I think he got tagged by Ty Fredrickson, maybe. Let's watch this one more time. It actually looked like it was a checkup from in front of him and then got tagged from Ty Fredrickson. So tough break for Tyler Muller. Going to lose more track position. Back to 16th. Was up inside of the top 5 when they came across to get 20 laps to go. Going to be all the way back to the 16th spot here with 14 to go. So as the field gets all caught back up, we prepare for another restart here. This one will be inside of 10 laps to go, I believe. Derek Kraus, Riley Stenjum was able to get the jump on Carter Hollingsworth and got the spot before the caution came out. So Stenjum will take the second spot away. How about Tristan Swanson in the 91 machine? Won the last chance race. Started 21st in this one, up to 4th. We'll see what he can do inside of these final 10. But Derek Kraus has definitely led quite a few laps up to this point. Had a couple lead changes so far. No, it's got to be more than one. With the choose cone given to these drivers, we'll send them back green with 10 to go. Derek Kraus chooses the bottom lane this time. We'll see how this takes things up as they go through the restart zone one more time. Back green with 10 laps to go. Better start that time. Kraus is going to get the early advantage down into 1 and 2. Riley Stenjum in the 77 into the second spot. Here comes Carter Hollingsworth on that outside lane trying to hold third. He's got Tristan Swanson down below, though. What can Riley Stenjum do up front behind Derek Kraus? Does he have anything left? Or does Derek Kraus have this one in the bag? Coming back to 8 laps to go. Battle still on for the third spot. Hollingsworth not giving up just yet. As now Swanson has Ryan Honeycutt to look to his inside. Hollingsworth thought they were going to be 3 wide entering turn 3 right there, I believe. Gave a little bit of extra room. But you can see as these two battle right here, look how far out your front two get. Riley Stenjum really able to put a lot of pressure on. And look at the run that time Hollingsworth was able to get. He will take over that third spot. Ryan Honeycutt up into Brandon Elvis into the outside wall. Elvis had to back out there, lost the position. And Honeycutt going to take that spot away, and the caution flag flies. Not sure what happened there. Brandon Wilkinson slow on the front straightaway. Let's see what happened here. I think it may have been up in front of him. Actually, Scotty Gardner got tagged. I think Trent Smith may have gotten into Gardner right there down into turns 3 and 4, and that brings out the caution. And that might set us up for a green-white checkered finish. We will see how quickly they can get things sorted here with the race lineup But Stenjum and Kraus going to be your top two inside of 5 laps to go here. They are not choosing this time, which means it will be a green-white checkered here. These drivers are given a couple attempts to get the green-white checkered in under green. If not, it will end under yellow. But we'll see if Derek Kraus can hang on. He's been one of the dominant cars up to this point. But can he seal the deal here? That's what we're going to find out in a couple of laps. Field should get the choose cone this time. And they do. Kraus going to go to the bottom. Stenjum to the top. Hollingsworth to the top. You like the run that he got on that outside lane on that last restart. So we'll see what happens here as we send him back to a green-white checkered finish. Derek Kraus trying to hold off Riley Stenjum. Can he do it? Pace cars off. They work their way down into turns 3 and 4. Kraus on the bottom side, Stenjum on the top. Both of them trying to roll into the restart zone with as much speed as they can, and we are off and underway. Green, white, checkered, 2 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. Derek Kraus drives in deep, tries to clear Stenjum, and I think he's going to be able to. Stenjum into the back bumper, maybe down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4. White flag is out. Final time around North Wilkesboro. Derek Kraus holds the lead. Riley Stenjum and Tristan Swanson battle for the second spot back behind him. Final time down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Does Riley Stenjum have anything left for Derek Kraus? I don't think so. Up and out of turns 3 and 4. Derek Kraus wins the Crazy Times Pub and Grub 150 at North Wilkesboro, and they crash across the line. Several cars torn up after the stripe. But Derek Kraus picks up the victory. Riley Stenjum second, and Tristan Swanson comes home third. We're going to grab a word from our top 3 very quickly here before we wrap things up on the WD Broadcasting Network. Get our feature results up on screen for you guys. We will talk to our top 3 finishers here as soon as they are available to us. Carter Hollingsworth just shy of the podium there in the 28 machine. Tristan Swanson was able to get that 3rd spot on the final lap. Let's grab a word from our 3rd place finisher, Tristan Swanson, up in the broadcast booth. 3rd place, you get a copy.
Yes, sir, I gotcha.
Alrighty, well, a long night for you. Had to run the last chance qualifier here this evening. Won that and came from 21st to 3rd. When it was all said and done. Tell me about your race.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting one for sure. Yeah, just kind of lost talent on the qualifying lap, on the money lap, and hit the wall there, so the lap didn't count, which was unfortunate. But yeah, the heat race or the last chance actually kind of gave me a good data or a good feel for the actual race. So I kind of used that for a strategy, but just kind of got caught in a few wrecks, and which was kind of threw off the game. But yeah, I'm definitely happy with the end result here.
Yeah, definitely a good run, especially from the last chance race. Like you said, when you saw the qualifying, when you knew that you had to run the last chance race, what went through your head as the points leader being, ooh, I'm not guaranteed to start this feature tonight?
Yeah, it was actually kind of a little nerve-wracking, I won't lie. It was especially for how far back I started. But I knew if it just judging from the last few races, if you just kind of um, be careful and be patient, you'll eventually work out for you. So
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Tristan, on your third place run here tonight. Who do you have to thank for another podium?
yeah, I just got to thank Elite Performance Industries, Sharp Design Co., and of course always my lovely wife for letting me do this every Monday. So it's a good time, and this is definitely makes it up for to have something to do in the winter.
Yeah, it definitely gives us all something to do. I think gives us something to look forward to throughout the week, which makes the winter a little bit easier to bear. But good luck to you in the next race that we have, Thompson. Next week, it's going to be a fun one, but congratulations to you one more time on your third place run.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. All right, now we're going to talk to our second place finisher. See if we can't grab Riley Stenjum up into the broadcast booth. Riley Stenjum up into the broadcast booth, second place finisher here tonight. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Alrighty, well, started second after the redraw. It was definitely an eventful race. You kept the 77 machine up front most of the race. Just did not quite have enough to get around Kraus there at the end. Maybe not enough laps under green in those final 50 laps.
Yeah, for sure. Decided to ran whatever second or third there the first 50 or so, and then I think a caution came out and came down to put fuel in it to have enough to get to the end, and lost the track position. And the way the race played out, it didn't really come to our favor. So I was like net back on track position when we put tires on. Tires on there, restarted fifth, and didn't get a great restart on the initial jump on tires, and that was probably the difference. Kraus got through there a little bit quicker than we did, and I wasn't the first one to the front on tires. And the way the track was tonight, that's kind of just what you needed to be. Yeah, it's cool though. At the end, we were just trying to help each other out on restarts, so I really couldn't get too good of a jump on him. We were just trying to help me out so we could both get to 1-2 here for the posse. So good night overall. Good points night too, I think. So yeah, ready to go for Thompson next week.
Yeah, it was definitely a track position night, like you said. It really had a big play on the overall end of the race, how quickly everybody got through the field, and then how quickly you're able to get back to the front top spot after those tires. And Kraus was able to do that a little bit quicker and able to get the victory when it was all said and done. Still a great night for you, though. Like you said, good night on points and a good night going into Thompson. How are you feeling going into Thompson? A little bit different track than what we've seen so far this season.
Yeah, generally on iRacing, Thompson's been one of my better tracks, but for whatever reason, I haven't gotten the perfect feel for this car on saving tires. And when we came down and put fuel in, we all told each other in TeamSpeak or whatever what our percentages were, and I was just a little bit worse than everybody. So I have to figure that out for Thompson. I'm sure there's going to be some longer runs there throughout the middle portions of the race, and you're going to need a feel to keep the tires on it. So that's kind of going to be my focus going into next week. I oversaved, I felt, at Hickory, and probably undersaved here, just trying to keep track position. So I'm going to have to try to find the happy medium.
Yeah, saving is definitely one of the trickier things to do here in the late model stock, because half the time after the race you didn't feel like you did it right, even though you did it a little bit differently than last time, and you never really feel like you got it right. But hopefully you can have some better luck, and maybe we can see one spot better next week. But still a great run. Who do you have to thank for a second place finish?
Yeah, just everybody at the posse. We do all this together in the winter and have a good time. So thanks to all of them. It was cool to run 1-2, and we had Wilkes. I think was probably going to be right up here in the hunt for a top 3 as well. He got caught up in a wreck there. So yeah, good night for the posse, and good to go 1-2, and hopefully we can do it again coming up here.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Riley, on your second place run here tonight, and we hopefully we can talk to you later on in the season.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, now to talk to our winner here tonight, Derek Kraus. We'll see if we can get him up in the broadcast booth. Winner here tonight, Derek Kraus, up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got ya.
Alrighty, well, second place qualifier here tonight, started 7th after the redraw. It was a very eventful race. Track position mattered a lot, and it looked like he may have gotten through the field a little bit better than some of those guys on fresh tires, and ultimately that was what won you the race. You were able to have the spot on the restarts at the end and seal the deal.
Yeah, I like you said, we started 8th, and then my buddy Brian Tedeschi, he helps me a lot with getting through the field. He's a really good spotter. So it always helps to have people like Brian in your ear. And Brian helped me get through the field, and then luckily enough to stay clean till the end and end up winning.
Yeah, like you said, it was very good to keep that car clean. A lot of drivers in the field could not quite say the same thing when it was all said and done. So that was a big kicker here tonight, having the car clean at the end and having a good shot at it. Made the right call on pit road and were able to get through the field quicker and have the spot when it mattered at the end. Who do you have to thank, Derek, for victory in the Winter Challenge Series?
Yeah, just overall, thank you for everybody in the Winter Challenge Series that puts it on, Brett, and everybody that works really hard on it. Next week's a really fun week with it being at Thompson. It's kind of like Rockford, so we always have a special scheme for next week, and really looking forward to it. But overall, just thanks everyone for putting this thing on, and it's a lot of fun to come out every Monday night and race.
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of fun in these first couple weeks. And now that you've said that, I've heard that comparison to Rockford being made about Thompson a couple times now. And I'm really going to think it through before we get into next week's race and try and really get into the mindset of being at Rockford and try to have a race there. But do you think you can go 2 in a row at a track like Thompson?
Hopefully. Last year I ran really well there, and so I mean, hopefully it's definitely a lot of just how the race kind of plays out, and if you get used up or if you don't get used up. So hopefully we can be on the other side of getting used up on it and be able to be aggressive. So looking forward to it, and hopefully we're there at the end of that one. And same with Brian and Joe and Stenjum and Wilkes and all those guys.
Yeah, it'll be a hometown race for you guys next week. We're going to be looking for you at the front. But congratulations to you, Derek, on your win here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks. So that was your winner here tonight, Derek Kraus. We'll run through the rest of our finishing order. You heard from our top 3 finishers, Derek Kraus, Riley Stenjum, and Tristan Swanson. Carter Hollingsworth came home 4th, Ty Fredrickson 5th, Anthony Danta 6th, Ryan Honeycutt 7th, Trent Smith 8th, Brandon Elvis 9th, Tyler Muller 10th, Danny Mann 11th, Corey Rogers 12th, Eric White 13th, Brian Tedeschi 14th, Scotty Gardner rounds out the top 15, Brandon Wilkinson 16th, Nick Fredrickson 17th, 18th is Max Hanley, Tanner Burge 19th, Joe Schaefer Jr. comes home 20th, and back behind him, rounding out our field, Eddie Dabrowski, Caleb Adrian, Clayton Story, and Preston Boers. So that is going to do it for us here tonight from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Thank you guys for watching up to this point. If you guys haven't already, hit that red subscribe button for more iRacing content right here on the WD Broadcasting Network YouTube channel. We'll be back tomorrow night and then Thursday night again. So 4 streams this week, 4 streams next week. It's going to be an action-packed month of January. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Winston Deal, signing it off. We will see you guys tomorrow night at Kern. Peace out.